Daniel Kostick presents Premiership Elections in Albertan History. This election took place on June 18, 1959, and was the 14th election in the province's history. It would be the first election where the same system of voting was used province-wide. Following the result of the party in 1955, Premier Ernest Manning began a series of changes designed to rebuild his image and party popularity. As oil and gas was still a booming industry in the province, the Alberta government had been receiving royalties from oil companies. These royalties had created such a prosperous environment in the province that it allowed Manning to spend large amounts of money on education and healthcare, opening new schools and hospitals during this period. Manning also reintroduced prosperity certificates. All Albertans would benefit from the credit in both 1957 and 1958, and all the money came from the royalties collected from the oil and gas revenue. These policies and the continual good economy helped Manning regain his former popularity. In 1956, social credit would be faced with a difficult situation. On June 3rd, the bodies of the family of John Eder Clark, MLA for Stettler, would be discovered at his family farm near Erskine. Clark was not among the bodies and had failed to show up to manage the Saskatchewan Social Credit Party's campaign 2 days prior. After a search, the RCMP found Clark's body not far from the murder scene, with the murder weapon beside him. Clark had previously been hospitalized twice following mental episodes, including recently during the spring session of the 1956 legislature, and it was discovered that Clark had killed 7 people, likely during another episode. The Clark massacre would be the largest mass killing in Alberta history until the Phu Lang killings in 2014. Following the 1955 election, Manning's cabinet proceeded with a rework of Alberta's systems of voting. Up until 1955, votes were conducted by instant runoff voting in rural districts and alternative voting in Calgary and Edmonton, both of which were multi-member districts. Manning transitioned the province to first past the post and did away with multi-member districts entirely. Additionally, the riding map was redrawn to allow for the new amounts of MLAs that would be elected. This would allow voters and candidates to know on election night what the results of the election were, removing the general 1-week waiting period needed to count runoff ballots. Following losing his seat in Edmonton, Elmer Roper resigned as leader of the Cooperative Commonwealth Federation and was replaced by Nick Dushensky, MLA for Willingdon, as leader. Dushensky would continue to serve as House Leader after the party named Floyd Johnson permanent leader in 1957. Refusing to change its ways, the CCF maintained its extreme left positions and policies that had contributed to its continual downward slide. John Page had resigned as leader of the Conservatives in 1958, and the party held a leadership vote. 5 candidates would run, but only 3 stood out. There was Cam Kirby, the MLA for Red Deer, Alan Lazerte, a party operative from St. Albert, and Ernest Watkins, MLA for Calgary. Kirby would win on the 4th ballot with 52% of delegates supporting, and oversaw a growing popularity for the party. This was especially true after it officially renamed itself to the Progressive Conservatives in 1959 to better align with the federal party of the same name. Kirby's goal was stated as recreating the result of the federal election the previous year, where the PCs had swept social credit from the House of Commons. James Prose, MLA for Edmonton, continued to lead the Liberals after the 1955 election, but he would step down as leader in 1958 and announced he would not run for re-election in 1959. He would run for Edmonton mayor that same year, but lost to Elmer Roper. With Prose stepping down, the Liberals held a leadership convention where 3 candidates would seek the party leadership. Of the 3, 2 would stand out: Richard Hall, MLA for Athabasca, and Grant McEwen, MLA for Calgary and former academic from Manitoba. McEwen would win on the 2nd ballot with 61% of delegates supporting. In spite of the revival of the party, McEwen faced many challenges as leader. Social credit's popularity had rebounded, and the party found itself squeezed for support, stuck between the PCs on the right and the CCF on the left. This, coupled with the abolishment of single transferable voting in major cities, made it incredibly challenging even for opposition leaders to hold their seats. With the resurgence of social credit, any serious attempts to revive a union of Liberals and Conservatives under one banner were finished. As such, Francis Leo Frank Pop Gaynor's coalition party became a machine with the sole purpose of keeping him in office. As Gaynor was very popular in his riding, this was an easy task. And here are the results. Ernest Manning won, securing 61 out of a possible 65 seats and 55.7% of the popular vote, up 24 seats and 9.3% since 1955. Next came Cam Kirby, whose PCs won 1 seat and 23.9% of the popular vote, down 2 seats but up 14.7% since 1955. 1955. Next came Grant McEwen, whose Liberals won 1 seat and 13.9% of the popular vote, down 14 seats and 17.2% since 1955. Next came Frank Pop, whose coalition party won 1 seat and 0.55% of the popular vote, even in seats and down 0.66% since 1955. Finally came Floyd Johnson, whose CCF won 0 seats and 4.3% of the popular vote, down 2 seats and 3.9% since 1955. This was the closest that a single party had come to sweeping the legislature in an election since the Rutherford Liberals in 1905. Manning had successfully revived his popularity and ended up securing his 5th term as premier and 7th term in government for social credit. Aside from Manning and Frank Pop, all party leaders lost their seats. Kirby placed 2nd in Red Deer, McEwen placed 3rd in the newly created riding of Calgary North, and Johnson placed a distant 4th in the newly created riding of Dunvegan. Since there was exactly one MLA elected from the PCs, Liberals, and coalition parties, speculation was had that Frank Pop would be named as leader of the official opposition. However, no opposition leader ended up being appointed, and this would be the 3rd and final time to this day that there has not been a leader of the official opposition. Grant McEwen would hence become one of the shortest-serving opposition leaders in Albertan history. This was the smallest opposition bloc since the 1905 general election. I'll see you in the next one.